They were bred to face lions, yet struggle to fit into ordinary homes. The Rhodesian Ridgeback is a paradox of beauty and danger, loyalty and independence. Its story begins under the brutal African sun, a land where survival demanded courage, not comfort. Early settlers in southern Africa needed a dog that could protect, track, and endure. What they created was unlike anything else the world had seen. The Ridgeback's distinctive line of hair, running in reverse along its spine, became a symbol of its defiance, a reminder that this dog was never meant to blend in. They hunted lions, not to kill, but to corner. The Ridgeback's job was to stand its ground, fearless, until the hunter arrived. That courage didn't fade when the lions disappeared. It simply found new battles to fight, in modern homes, fenced yards, and the hearts of those who dared to own one. To understand the Ridgeback is to understand restraint. They are capable of violence, yet rarely choose it. Their strength is quiet, controlled power wrapped in calm confidence. They don't bark to intimidate, they stare until you look away. It's easy to see why people are drawn to them. The sculpted body, the amber eyes, the regal posture, a living echo of the wild. But beauty often hides difficulty. Behind that calm exterior lies a will forged in survival, not obedience. The Ridgeback doesn't live to please. It lives to earn respect, and it demands the same from those around it. Trainers often describe them as thinking dogs. They won't follow orders they see no purpose in. This intelligence is both their gift and their test. A Ridgeback will challenge you, not out of rebellion, but out of pride. They measure you every day, your tone, your consistency, your strength of character, and if you waver, they'll take command. That's why so many owners fail. They fall in love with the look, but not the responsibility. You cannot dominate a Ridgeback through fear. You must lead it through respect, the same way you would a fellow warrior. Because that's what they are, warriors, descendants of hunters who stared down lions and lived to tell the tale. When a Ridgeback looks at you, you feel history behind those eyes. Centuries of survival, selection, and strength. Their loyalty, once earned, is absolute. They will protect your home, your family, your children, and they will do it silently. But if they decide you are unworthy of leadership, they'll protect themselves instead. This is not disobedience, it's instinct. The same instinct that kept them alive in a land where weakness meant death. In the right hands, that instinct becomes partnership. In the wrong hands, it becomes chaos. Many owners discover this too late. They mistake independence for aggression, confidence for defiance. The Ridgeback is not aggressive by nature, but they know their power and they never forget it. They don't start fights, but they finish them, and they do it with terrifying precision. Even their play carries weight. A Ridgeback can knock a grown man over without meaning to. You must teach them balance, to channel their energy, not suppress it. Because a Ridgeback without purpose is a storm without direction. It will find something to chase, something to test, something to conquer. The best Ridgeback owners are calm, consistent, and strong-willed. Not harsh, but steady, like the alpha of a pack that doesn't need to shout. They use structure as love, boundaries as protection. And the Ridgeback, in turn, rewards them with a loyalty most breeds can only imitate. That loyalty is sacred. It's earned through time, patience, and mutual respect. Once you have it, you'll never feel alone again. The Ridgeback becomes your shadow, watchful, silent, always one step behind. Their intelligence can astonish you. They learn routines, read emotions, and sense danger long before you do. A Ridgeback might ignore your commands today, only to save your life tomorrow. That contradiction is the essence of their character. They don't obey because you tell them to. They act because they understand why. Living with one changes you. You become more grounded, more patient, more aware of what true leadership means. You stop shouting. You start listening. Because with a Ridgeback, words mean little. Energy means everything. They read the unspoken, your posture, your breath, your fear, and they respond accordingly. If you're anxious, they grow restless. If you're calm, they become statues of serenity. It's a mirror relationship. The dog becomes a reflection of your energy, your control, your peace. That's why Ridgebacks humble so many people. They expose the truth of their owners, the parts we can't hide behind words. But for those who meet them halfway, something remarkable happens. You earn the trust of a creature that trusts almost no one. A Ridgeback's affection isn't loud or constant. It's subtle. A gentle lean against your leg, a slow blink, a silent presence beside you through every storm. They love deeply, but on their own terms. You don't own a Ridgeback, you coexist with one. And in that coexistence lies an ancient bond, older than modern obedience, deeper than mere companionship. When you walk beside a Ridgeback, you're walking beside history. The spirit of Africa still moves in their stride. Each step carries echoes of the savanna, the chase, the dust, the heartbeat of the wild. Even when asleep on a modern couch, that wildness hums quietly beneath their skin. You can feel it in their breathing, slow, steady, alert even in dreams. They are proof that civilization cannot erase nature. Only teach it to live within boundaries. And for all their power, Ridgebacks remain gentle with those they love. They know the difference between threat and family. Children can climb on them, tug their ears, and they'll simply sigh, patient, protective, endlessly tolerant. But when a stranger approaches the fence, everything changes. The same dog that napped under your feet becomes an unmovable guardian. They don't bark out of panic, they bark out of certainty. And when they stand between you and danger, you understand why their ancestors faced lions without fear. That confidence is not learned, it's inherited, passed down through generations of survival and purpose. To own such a dog is to carry a piece of that legacy. To earn it, you must prove yourself worthy. Because the Ridgeback gives nothing blindly. Not trust, not respect, not obedience. But once they give it, they never take it back. That's why those who truly know them never want another breed. Nothing else feels as pure, as balanced, as alive. The Ridgeback doesn't just guard your home, it guards your soul. And in its quiet strength, you find your own. Every Ridgeback eventually chooses their person, not by how loudly they command, but by how quietly they lead. Once that bond is made, it's unbreakable. They'll follow that person from room to room, never needy, but always near. They don't crave affection, they observe it. A Ridgeback's love is dignified, almost ancient. When they rest their head on your knee, it's not just comfort. It's a silent promise that they're guarding you even in stillness. Children raised with Ridgebacks grow up differently. They learn about respect, patience, and quiet strength. They feel what protection really means, not fear-based, but rooted in love. The Ridgeback doesn't seek conflict, but it doesn't flee from it either. It stands firm because that's who it is. And that sense of purpose never fades, even in old age. When their bodies slow, their hearts remain fierce. You'll see it in their eyes, the same fire that once stared down predators, a spark of pride that refuses to die out. When they can no longer run the way they used to, they walk beside you with the same silent grace. Every step carries memory, hunts, storms, nights by the fire, the echo of footsteps they once matched stride for stride. They seem to know their story is bigger than themselves, that their breed carries the ghosts of the savanna within its veins. They are the last reminder of an age when dogs weren't ornaments, they were allies. Their strength served survival, their loyalty served life itself. And maybe that's why modern owners struggle. The Ridgeback doesn't fit into a world of shortcuts and soft boundaries. They don't obey trends, they obey instinct. They don't need constant validation, they need meaning. They thrive in homes where discipline and empathy coexist, where calm leadership replaces dominance. Because what they crave isn't control, it's clarity. They want to know who you are and whether you're worthy of their trust. Once they decide you are, they'll give everything they have. Their courage, their loyalty, even their life. They don't do this for praise or treats. They do it because it's in their blood. A Ridgeback's love is never performative. It's silent, strong, and absolute. That's why those who live with one rarely speak of ownership. They speak of partnership. A Ridgeback doesn't belong to you. You belong to each other. It's a bond that changes the rhythm of your life. You start moving slower, listening more, understanding silence in a new way. They teach you that strength isn't about aggression, it's about balance. They remind you that loyalty isn't loud, it's steady, enduring, unbreakable. And through them, you see what humans have forgotten, that power without purpose is nothing. Their story isn't about domination, it's about respect earned through calm certainty. That's what made them great hunters, great guardians, and even greater companions. They don't chase approval, they command it through quiet presence. It's humbling standing beside such a creature. You feel both smaller and stronger at the same time. They draw something out of you, patience, confidence, peace. Qualities that can't be forced, only awakened. The Ridgeback awakens them, gently, consistently, without a word. Because they don't respond to shouting, they respond to energy. If your heart is calm, they follow. If your heart is chaotic, they lead. It's that balance that makes them both a challenge and a gift. They mirror your growth in ways no other dog can. Owning one means becoming the kind of person they can respect. And that journey, that transformation, is what makes them unforgettable. Every Ridgeback leaves behind a story. Not of tricks or medals, but of moments that reshape the people who loved them. They remind us that the strongest bonds don't need words, only trust. Their devotion is silent but absolute, like gravity. You don't see it, but it anchors everything. And when the day comes to say goodbye, the silence they leave behind feels too heavy to fill. The space by your door, the quiet by your chair, it all changes. But their spirit remains. You feel it in the stillness, in the rhythm of your walks, in the places they once guarded. Because loyalty that pure doesn't fade, it lingers, like sunlight long after the sun is gone. You begin to realize that their legacy isn't their strength, it's their restraint. Their ability to hold back, to protect without cruelty, to lead without ego. That's what makes them the lion hunters, not just of the savannah, but of fear itself. They hunted danger, yes, but they also hunted doubt, hesitation, weakness. And somehow, through them, we learn to do the same. To face life with courage, calm, and conviction. The Rhodesian Ridgeback isn't a pet, it's a presence. It teaches by example, not command. It challenges you to rise higher, to become the kind of leader worthy of such silent respect. That's why this breed isn't for everyone. It's for those who understand that love and strength aren't opposites. They are the same force, expressed differently. When you live with a Ridgeback, you begin to see the world as they do, clear, steady, and without fear. They remind you that true power is quiet, true loyalty doesn't need proof. And true courage, the kind that once stood before lions, is not loud, but deeply still. So when people say the Ridgeback is too powerful for most owners, they're right. But for the few who understand them, that power becomes something else entirely. It becomes grace. It becomes partnership. It becomes love in its most disciplined form. And long after they're gone, that lesson remains. A quiet reminder that real strength doesn't shout. It stands and waits.